Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this webinar on CSU Faculty Excellence in Education and Research. My name is Ganesh Rahman. I'm the Assistant Vice Chancellor for Research at the CSU Office of the Chancellor. We have a very exciting program today with four speakers following me and with time for a Q&A. I think it's time to get started. Thank you. Okay, so I want to say a little bit about the purpose of this webcast or webinar, why we're doing this. So the CSU has a system-wide strategic plan called CSU Forward, and that plan has some core pillars, namely economic mobility, sustainable affordability, employer of choice, and statewide impact. So if you take these pillars and you try to operationalize them, and so the operational translations are at least from the research and academic sphere, embedding hands-on research directly into the core curriculum, providing these distinctive experiences for our students, connecting to the workforce needs. Let's not forget student entrepreneurship, innovation, and connecting with the communities directly translates to economic development. As far as faculty excellence is concerned, being the employer of choice requires that we provide an environment where we're able to attract top-tier faculty. We elevate educator-led scholarship to expand institutional influence, enrich the classroom, and support faculty in their research. So in other words, reducing administrative burdens for faculty by providing them the right tools. And so in other words, then the translation of that is efficient workflows at campuses and at the system level. And so, for example, faculty activity reporting, tenure and promotion, collaborative tools. How do I collaborate with another faculty member in my discipline or at another campus? So how do we use modern day tools to do that? So the aspirational goals are that if we can achieve multi-campus connectivity, partnerships within the system, and eventually national and global reach. So today we're going to hear four presentations, three of our campuses, San Diego State University, Cal State Long Beach, and Cal State Fullerton, followed by a presentation by our strategic partner, Elsevier, and they'll talk about platforms for efficient workflows and showcasing research and wider faculty visibility. So once again, welcome to this webcast. I do want to thank Maggie Fleming for doing all the behind-the-scenes work for organizing this webcast and keeping things in order. So it's my pleasure now to introduce the first team from San Diego State University. The presentation will be made by Samantha Lendi and Summer Meza. San Diego.
Hello, everyone. My name is Samantha Lendi. I am the Academic Support Systems Lead in San Diego State's Faculty Advancement Office.
Good morning. I'm Summer Trinan, and I'm the Faculty Personnel Processes Specialist at SDSU.
Okay, so how is our campus utilizing Interfolio's review, promotion, and tenure module? We've been on the Interfolio platform for probably about 10 years now. We started with faculty search and then adopted the evaluations module. For this module, we have an average of 4,000 users throughout the academic year. We are using the platform for multiple processes. So our reappointment, tenure, promotion, we have about 100 to 130 cases a year. We also utilize the late add process so that people can add information to their files. And we usually have 60 to 90 of those per year. The majority of what we use it for periodic evaluations, those we have quite a bit, 1,100 to 1,500 cases per year. We also brought sabbatical applications onto the platform as well. So we have about 90 to 110 of those a year. And we also have added range elevation to the module as well. In the FTAS years, we had 50 to 60. This past year, since that's no longer part of our CBA, we only had maybe about 10 applications this year. So the benefits of Interfolio, we really enjoy using this because it is a faculty forward platform. It was built with the faculty as a primary end user, but it's also accessible to all levels. We have faculty, staff, multiple users, administrators in the module. It's very intuitive. The features that our campus utilizes, everything is visible. It's not hidden. So it's very, very user-friendly. It's also customizable to our needs for each process. So each process is a little different, but we're able to customize to how we need it to work. And then also workflow changes or adjustments, they can be addressed and implemented immediately. So that's also very helpful as well.
Yeah, the electronic workflow routing and the stage-based alerts really reduce delays, minimize errors, and decrease reliance on off-platform communication and manual tracking. So it really reduces that email traffic we're all trying to avoid, and then the potential for lost or interrupted communications. So we find that really helpful. Something that's been really useful for us as well is having a single system or a single source of truth for everything related to a process, the documents, materials, communications, approvals. So that keeps everything consistent, controls access across a very complex multi-step process and multi-user process. So even in cases where we need to, go back into histories, and if there's a grievance of some sort, and we always have that to go back to. Activity logs and visible workflows improve our oversight, helps us resolve issues really quickly, identify and address bottlenecks, which can happen when we are working in approval processes, especially. And then we're able to design very clear dossier templates and streamline the submission requirements for participants and limit the local customization needed. And so that reduces administrative burden. It improves end user experience, and it really supports timely completion and meeting deadlines for things like sabbaticals and RTP processes.
So addressing challenges at SDSU, as with any platform, there is some troubleshooting. So the way that we address that is that our office hosts workshops and creates user guides for each process using the system, and we create different guides for each user group that's going to be in the system. We also hold monthly meetings with the college leads to address any emerging issues, troubleshooting, and to discuss and get their buy-in on possible improvements for the next cycle. Our office is always also forming an RTP working group. to find ways that we can address procedural details and formats to provide a better experience for candidates and reviewers. So that's something that we're looking into right now, not only to streamline our process a little bit, but make things easier. Some of our faculty like downloading their dossiers for review. And we always get the complaint that it takes too long. So maybe having a more streamlined process so they don't have 600 pages of documents to download, and maybe we can cut that in half. So that would be really helpful. We also work closely with users and the Interfolio help desk to address any kind of errors, messages, glitches, account issues, anything that comes up with that. We also assist our users with reporting needs. If a specific report isn't necessarily available in the system, we work with the user to determine how we can get that information to them so that they can get their reporting needs filled. Also, how we've improved our workflows. We recently introduced using the forms that are part of the process. We piloted that with temporary faculty evaluations so that we could reduce the time spent by reviewers. So they're no longer writing a letter and then having to upload and share. So that really helped out our staff as well as our faculty. As far as time savings. The faculty response to that was incredibly positive. So we're looking to expand that. I know the Interfolio has rolled out some updates to the form, so we're excited to see how we can utilize that. In general, how we've improved our workflows, we get buyback from all of our stakeholders to see what's working, what's not working, and then we can look at implementing what's feasible within the platform. And then another thing that we're working on as well is we're working with our IT division to try to get our student feedback surveys integrated with the system so that faculty don't have to download those from another platform and then re-upload them into Interfolio. All right, so that's our presentation. Were there any questions?
All right. If there are no questions, let's go
Okay.
to the next
Excuse me,
presentation.
there was one question. I was just having difficulty. I just asked Natalie to unmute. Natalie Munoz has a question.
Yeah, thank you so much. For the forms, are they standard forms that Interfolio provides, or are you able to customize those forms based on the need?
We are able to customize the form to the process.
Thank you. That was the last question.
Okay, we will have a discussion period at the end, so you can come back with more questions.
Great, thank you very much. The next presentation is CSU Long Beach with Simone Washington and Barbara Taylor.
Good morning, everyone. I am Barbara Taylor, and we have a similar use of Interfolio at this time to San Diego State. And I will have Simone Washington. Oh, I don't seem to have advance control. There we go. Yeah, so that's me. And here's Simone. Simone is a software analyst in our Office of Faculty Affairs. So take it away, Simone. I will see if I've got advance now. Nope, I think it might be you. Oh, wait, there we go. Simone, do we have you?
You're muted.
The advancement is not working. Okay. I'm trying to go back one. Thank you, Dr. Taylor. We just heard how CSU San Diego is using Interfolio's RPT module, and in a bit, we'll hear about another really exciting module focused on activity reporting and how it's helped advance faculty excellence at Cal State Fullerton. But before we move on, we want to take a few minutes to talk about something that's just as important as the technology itself, which is faculty buy-in. Because at the end of the day, even the best tools don't make an impact if people are reluctant to using them. So as with any new technology, a thoughtful implementation process and plan is essential. But one piece that's critical and sometimes overlooked is how to bring faculty along and foster buy-in. So here at Cal State Long Beach, we've been using the Interfolio RPT module for about 9 years. And through that experience, we have identified 3 key elements that support successful faculty adoption: communication, responsiveness, and meaningful professional development opportunities. So for communication, it's very important that communication happens often and early. Even during the implementation process, what the plan is for the university of how to roll out the module is very important. Being transparent in the process, if there are any glitches, definitely highlighting the benefits of using the module is very important. And also not shying away from addressing concerns that there may be along the way. If there are any technical glitches, which will almost always happen, being transparent about it, how it's being addressed, really does help build trust with the users, especially the faculty that are undergoing evaluation, using this module so that they feel safe and comfortable in knowing that all of the issues and concerns are being addressed and the timeline in which we plan to have them resolved. So communication as far as email reminders, if there are any deadlines coming up, having reminders coming in is very helpful. Being available by phone, email, Zoom, Teams, however the users want to contact you is important to have those lines of communication open at all times as much as you can make it available. Also visiting the colleges, working with the deans and the associate deans to be invited to the college meeting so that you're coming into their space and you're offering information about the system and information about anything that they want to know about the system is very helpful. Also offering in-person or virtual one-on-one opportunities to talk about the system, to work through any complications that users may be having. Usually it's just a very simple step or two that might be missing out of the process that will be very helpful to walk the users through. And just being accessible to give information as much as you can is very helpful in fostering these relationships with the users and helping them become more comfortable with the systems and with the module. And coupled with communication is the importance of responsiveness. Part of building trust and building relationships with your users is being responsive to their requests for information as much as you can. So what that looks like on our campus is that we respond to emails from our users within the same business day. We accept phone calls as much as possible right at the time that they're being made. Since we are the campus super users and administrators, we're usually on the computers anyway. So any phone calls that are coming in, we can answer right away if we're not in a meeting. Being available to schedule video conferencing, Zooms, or Teams meetings as much as possible. And again, offering those virtual and in-person opportunities to meet, to go over the system, to learn the system, even outside of the workshops that are being offered. And just being available and willing and open to have the one-on-one sessions with the user, even if that means going to their office and helping them with the system on their own device or doing it virtually. This level of responsiveness really does build trust. And once the trust is built, then it becomes a matter of word of mouth that some users speak to other users that might be having issues and say, well, you can reach out to this person or this office and they're really helpful. Um, so that they don't get to be frustrated with the system and that they really do get to the benefits of what the software offers. And also creating opportunities to get feedback from the users so that you can hear what their experience are and you can address those in some of the ways that Samantha had mentioned before. Just hearing the feedback and using that as ways to improve the way that the user is experiencing the software. And finally, the third key that we have discovered here on our campus is providing professional development opportunities around the modules in as many different formats as possible. As we know, people learn in many different ways. And so here on our campus, we try to offer a lot of different ways to learn the system, whether it be in person or online workshops. We also offer drop-in or open lab sessions where people can log on, ask a quick question, and log off if they're working in the system. It's also very important to collaborate with different offices within your campus to further offer professional development opportunities. So here on our campus, we have a faculty center where there's another host of professional development opportunities. So they also advertise the workshops that we have specifically for Interfolio, and they help to invite faculty to come to our workshops. We also collaborate with the IT department and our data centers so that we can just be collaborative to offer the best experience for our faculty in using the Interfolio modules. We also are flexible in offering our different ways of learning at different times because, as you know, lecturers are on campus outside of the regular business hours, and sometimes they may feel a bit left out if all of the workshops are happening during business hours. So keeping them in mind and being open and flexible to offer workshop opportunities when it's convenient for them as well. And again, I can't stress enough how important the one-on-one sessions are. It does take time. It takes time out of your day to do, but it's so helpful to the users to really get engaged with the software, with the modules, and really then get exposed to all of the benefits that the software offers.
Okay, so thank you, Simone. Simone has talked about how we at CSULB optimize use of Interfolio for the purposes we're using it now. But I want to talk more aspirationally because Interfolio can be very useful in research administration. It gives the institution a structured, faculty-centered source of data about scholarly activity and expertise, grants, publications, that sort of thing. So the faculty research profiles and expertise discovery can come from Interfolio. I think we're all used to campuses having directories of faculty expertise, and it's very hard to get those complete. Faculty I don't know, I think justifiably get a little tired of putting their information into multiple places. So if we can scrape that from Interfolio and create a database of faculty expertise, that will be very helpful. You can, have dashboards then of publications, grant activity. And so that can add to the faculty expertise, but also departments and colleges will be able to create their own dashboards, and the university as a whole. I'm interested to find out about biosketches and whether the Interfolio data can be scraped into the current required biosketches, but that would be absolutely wonderful for faculty. Proposal team formation. We are facing a time of fewer awards being made federally, and there's a change in the subject matter that the awards are, and they're often for big interdisciplinary teams. So I think helping with proposal team formation is going to become more and more important as we go forward. And Interfolio can also help with our compliance adjacent workflows. So I'm excited about those. The dashboards and the proposal team formation are probably our priorities for trying. And this is contact information for both Simone and myself. We'd be happy to connect with anyone who has specific questions if we don't get to them during our panel discussion. Thank you very much. And I am going to pass the torch to Binod Tiwari and I think Kathleen Preston.
Thank you, Barbara. Maggie, do I have control of? Okay, so just building into what aspirational aspect of these platforms that just we heard from our colleagues from Long Beach. We'll talk today about our experience at Cal State Fullerton with Interfolio, RPT, and faculty activity reporting tools. So I'm Binod Tiwari, Associate Vice President for Research and Sponsored Programs, and co-presenter on these slides, although two of our colleagues are not here, would be Dr. Kathleen Preston, Executive Director of Faculty Development Center, Dr. Mark Carrier, he is Executive Director for Faculty Affairs and Records. Joe Luzzi is our AVP for IT. But Kathleen and I will be presenting this together. So the Interfolio RPT, that we use today, we'll spending only a little time for Interfolio RPT. I'm having a little hard time on advancing the slides. Okay, I got it. So okay, so all our we have been using Interfolio RPT for about 9 years, similar to what Long Beach had looks like. And we use all retention, tenure, and promotion cases. In this past fiscal year, in academic year, we had 205 cases of RPT. And then we also use this for post-review case. Last year, we had 79 cases. And all lecturer evaluation, last year we had 967 cases. All lecture range elevation case also. With last year we had only 5. And we also use Interfolio RPD case for other uses, such as the internal data requests or quick check of evaluation details, and also export to dossiers. And we use the RPT module for WPAF, especially for the part-time faculty. But we'll be focusing more today on faculty activity reporting. We heard about RPT from 2 of our colleagues, sister campuses. So Faculty 360, we call it Faculty 360, while we started with Faculty 180, and based on the hearing from campus, we wanted to use 360 than 180. So we started implementation this platform from 2022. The main interest to obtain to do this was stemmed from exactly what Dr. Taylor from Long Beach just talked about, to have more centralized platform to obtain faculty publication records and research collaboration. That also stemmed from our coach survey. When we did coach survey, faculty were interested to see who are the collaborators on campus. And this will also help us to recruit faculty. If we have faculty applying for our positions, then they would be easily looking into potential collaborators on campus that help us in our recruitment process. So we had a huge institutional effort on that, and in the beginning, we had Division of Academic Affairs. From the beginning, we have Division of Academic Affairs, Division of University Advancement, and Division of IT. We cost shared to pay for the platform. It's not only money. Then with the cost share, we have more a tangible collaboration between the divisions. That was always helpful. And when we started in the implementation phase, then we had Office of Research and Sponsor Programs, Faculty Affairs and Records, Faculty Development Center, all in the Division of Academic Affairs. At the same time, we have Academic HR, which is under the Division of HR, and IT, Division of IT, and we had Stratcom, and institutional research are under the Office of the President, and then library is under Division of Academic Affairs. As you could see in our implementation group, we have almost entire campus involved, and we used to meet every week until we launched it, and now we are meeting. All of us are meeting biweekly. So we started, having. We signed the agreement and then contract, and then we started building the team from fall 2021, as I mentioned in the first bullet point, and then we started working on the platform from spring 2022, and then until fall 23. We spent quality time to get the data, internally. That way, faculty don't need to put a lot of information. So we are trying to reduce faculty time, and then we also did pilot testing with about 50 faculty on campus. Especially, it was important for us. One of the excitements that we had was, Interfolio data surveys. That is what Dr. Taylor just mentioned as aspiration. And we wanted to test our faculty as a pilot across the university. And being the largest in the system, this helps us to have more faculty, to get from all spectrum, from all colleges. So we have 50 faculty as a pilot testing. And based on the pilot testing result, we were able to work with the Interfolio team to make our IDC more, I would say, more and more accurate, I would say, in a sense that it would help us to get less false positive and less false negative. So, we did soft launch in spring 2024. It looks like I also lost the control. Okay. And also the spring 2025, we did full lunch. And then summer 2025, we offered workshops to help faculty using the platform. That way, we could save as much their time as possible. And then what we did was, we made it required for part-time faculty evaluation. And then also for our internal grant, we created a custom legacy CV for intramural grants, and we required them to use that. That's mainly because there's so many options we have to create CV. One of them is, like Dr. Taylor's aspiration was to use bias cases. Then Interfolio, FAR has that potential to create NSF and NIH, required bias cases using this platform. So we wanted faculty to start trying that through our internal intramural grant application process. And Faculty 360 at our campus are designed to help promote the academic achievements and activities of our faculty to on-campus collaborators, our campus community, and also the media. Because as I mentioned, we have one of our strong, continuous partner in this process is Stratcom. And also, it is not, depending on the, based on the size of our campus, we did not make it required for all faculty for now. We encourage all faculty to build their profile. Once they saw the value on that, and they build their profile and they updated their profile, we could see that. It is a central location for managing professional accomplishment. That way, the colleges, the departments, and the academic affairs and institutions as a whole can see, within few minutes, they can create a report for our faculty as they need, and the faculty can find collaborators, research collaborators across campus, create CVs in multiple formats, as I mentioned earlier, and very quickly, and then reduce the need for manual data entry. For example, all the teaching, I'll talk a little bit about that in a while, but all the teaching and other, the data we have on campus are automatically uploaded for faculty. That way they could save time. At the same time, Interfolio Data Service scrap all the publications, as much as they can from the faculty for our faculty, and then put them into the dashboard. That way, faculty just need to click that is our data, and it is even getting better now. So, and then it also lists and promote their publication work, especially through by themselves, faculty index page, and also through our Stratcom. And then the platform will consolidate required content for performance review. So, we are backward. So I wish now, if we have FAR, created FAR, and then followed by, we have, RPT platform, that would be ideal. But it doesn't matter, because now we have FAR. What faculty can do, new faculty, what they can do is they can build their FAR, their portfolio in FAR, and then they can push that to RPT. That way they can save significant amount of time for their RPT portfolio. I'll share. So I'll introduce a little bit about what Faculty 360 or Faculty FAR, or Faculty Activity Reporting, we call it Faculty 360 tool is. So it has a profile. In the profile, we have personal information. Most of that information is uploaded by the central HR and IT. Contact information is provided by central HR and IT, only except the biography, faculty write themselves. And then current position, their rank is put by central HR automatically. That way, faculty don't need to put anything. Work experience is what faculty put, because they may have more information. And this is the profile of one of our co-presenters, Dr. Mark Courier, our Executive Director of Faculty Affairs and Records. And then, we also have, if you go to, it does an activities page is more exciting, where the faculty taught, if our faculty taught courses before 2008, everything is automatically stripped by our IT and put that in their portfolio. That way, they don't need to upload that. All student enrollment, anything will be there. And then if that is before 2008, or if our faculty started somewhere else before they came to Cal State Fullerton, they need to upload that manually. And then mentorship and supervision, they need to upload that manually. And the more exciting for us was a research scholarship and creative activity. So Interfolio faculty activity, Interfolio FAR is connected with Interfolio IDS, where our Interfolio colleagues will scrape the faculty publication and then from different platforms, and then they put that into faculty profile. So it is extremely accurate. And although it is impossible to cover all faculty publications, but it's very, very accurate. And then the number-wise is very efficient. It is scrapped by Interfolio. At the same time, if they are not there, faculty can upload them. And the great progress recently is, now Interfolio is working on CV scraping. That way, faculty can use their CV to scrape the data and upload that in the Interfolio. And then grants, and the Research and Sponsor Programs Office has a database on grant, and we automatically upload. We upload them into faculty profile. That way, faculty don't need to upload that themselves. An institutional committee, our team works with the Senate. And then any Senate committees our faculty will automatically put them into their profile. If not, then faculty have to put that themselves. And then there are other institutional services faculty put themselves. And community professional services faculty do put themselves. And any professional development they have, they will put themselves. One of the exciting features that the reason for us to adopt this platform is find colleagues platform. So we can find colleagues within Cal State Fullerton through interest or research scholarship and creative activities, or even work ID, because work ID and the FAR has a direct relationship. That way, if we use institutional work ID, that way we can automatically get faculty data to push into Interfolio. That way faculty don't need to, if they have work ID and they have all the information in work ID, they can push that through their work ID pretty easily. I can go beyond and beyond, but we have limited time, so I will pass it to my colleague, Dr. Preston, to talk about the rest.
Great, thank you, Binod. So Binod has just been talking about the inside of Interfolio and Faculty 360, and our IT team built a public profile view. And so on the inside, we can search colleagues, but from the outside, we can use the public-facing profile to display our accomplishments. And so that's another feature that we're excited for our faculty to be able to use. And so for demonstration purposes, we searched psychology, and Mark Carrier and myself are initially psychologists. And so when we search in psychology, and you can search up by topic or by name, you see that Mark and I both came up. And when we clicked on Mark's profile, this is what we see. And you first see that there are some tabs. You've got Mark's default information. You can upload a photo, a biography, and that's tailored to whatever he put in there. His research and teaching interests are included. The courses that he taught are included, and then scholarly contributions. When you see, if you scroll down his biography, we also see you can expand his education, any administrative appointments, work experience, and clicking on any of these areas will expand that box so that you can see the details within that. If a faculty member doesn't have an administrative appointment, for instance, then that section simply would not show. So we don't have blank areas. The interests, this is something that we can search folks by. So this is where you can search if it's a public-facing profile, you would type in keywords up here, and those are being searched in this area, the teaching interests and the research interests. There's also on the inside, that's also how those keywords are being searched by within our campus. And then the courses, these are, again, as Vinod mentioned, these are being pulled into the profile from campus. So the faculty don't have to enter this information. And these are all the courses that are taught. If it's being taught from our institution, then it's pulled in automatically. If it was taught at another institution, then the faculty would need to enter that information manually. And now it is sorted lowest number first. So it would be actually Psych 110 would be the highest, and then upper division courses would be listed later, and then graduate courses would be listed at the bottom. And then we have our scholarly contributions section. These are listed separately by type. So you see that he's got some books here, different book chapters, and then also journal articles. And we have it by default as APA formatted because Mark and I were the ones that were working with IT to design this, and we know APA formatting. But you can also have this changed, modified to MLA formatting or various types of formatting depending on your discipline. And that's something that you can choose from the inside of the profile when you're building the profile. And for all of these, you have the option to to have any of these sections publicly displayed or not. And also to have any of these articles or book chapters publicly displayed or not. So if in the instance where you have something that is still under review and you want to include it as part of your portfolio on your CV that you're downloading for submission as part of your portfolio for RTP, then you could have that included for that, but maybe not have it as publicly facing. So each section and each item within each section is opt-in or opt-out for public facing profile. So as Vinod mentioned, all of our faculty members are encouraged to participate by reviewing their academic information and building their profile, but they're not required to participate. And all of their profiles are currently default as opted out for having their profiles be publicly facing. We want faculty to be in control of what is publicly available. But we do want them to be able to, we encourage them to have it publicly viewable so that other partner researchers can find our faculty and call on their expertise. And they access Faculty 360 the way that they access Interfolio for their regular RTP reviews. We offer the FDC virtual drop-in tutorial sessions every month on the third Friday. And then we also we'll be hosting 3 sessions this summer again and paying faculty to come and build their profile. IT created a series of guides and a video tutorial. There's a staff member in Vinod's office that's trained to assist faculty in uploading the material so they don't have to do it themselves. And we're working on scraping faculty publications directly from their CV, so even less manual work for our faculty. And auto-uploading faculty publications for higher accuracy rates. So we're eventually ideally replacing our faculty expert guides with the Faculty 360, working with department chairs and deans to build reports so that they can report out on various campus processes with all of the great work that our faculty are doing, and informing our strategic communications and publications, public relations team to promote our faculty research and expertise to our media to generate highlights and content for our CSUF news site. So progress since spring, we offered our workshops and 74 faculty attended those workshops. Since spring, we currently have 71 faculty signed up for our summer sessions that will be happening this summer. And you can see the numbers of our publications in spring that were reported. And Interfolio has now started bi-weekly scraping the internet rather than previously it was quarterly. So it's more accurate and it's happening more often. So that's encouraging as well for our faculty to engage with the platform. And our number of faculty using the platform is also gradually increasing, and they're finding the utility of the platform to be important. And I will hand it off to Tiffany.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Tiffany Armour, and I serve as the Interfolio account manager, partnering with 19 out of the 22 CSU partner campuses that we work with. I'm joined today by a couple of colleagues, Gabe Levy, who is a solutions engineer, and he has deep functional knowledge of our systems, and you're going to hear from him in a little bit after I do just a couple of introductory slides. And then also I'm joined by Anthony Morris, who is our Vice President of Account Management, overseeing our entire North American Interfolio portfolio of partners, which is around 500 universities. We heard from Dr. Tawari and Fullerton about faculty activity reporting. They call it Faculty 360 at Fullerton. How they're collecting and centralizing research, teaching, and service contributions into one record with ease and minimal faculty data entry. And that faculty activity reporting, or FAR, as we call it for short, is contained just to Fullerton. And so what I want to talk about today is taking it one step further, similar to what Kathleen presented about generating a public-facing faculty profile to increase visibility across the CSU system and nationally or even internationally outside of CSU Fullerton or outside of your individual institution. And we're going to talk a little bit about how this ties into the Cal State system's strategic objectives as articulated in CSU Forward. All right. So CSU Forward lays out ambitious priorities, as we know, all while under increased budget pressure and competition for students, faculty, and external funding. Better faculty visibility will support, first of all, economic mobility by connecting students to mentors, research, and career networks. And then sustainable affordability. So we are going to, through increasing faculty visibility and faculty scholarship and research visibility, we're going to help students find courses and pathways that will reduce time to degree. Thirdly, becoming California's employer of choice, as Dr. Rahman mentioned, by increasing faculty visibility and professional recognition. And lastly, maximizing statewide impact by showcasing CSU expertise to students, employers, policymakers, and communities statewide. So when we talk with provosts about why they're interested in public visibility into scholarship, we hear 4 key reasons why they invest in faculty profiles. And they are really around, first and foremost, faculty recruitment and retention. So being able to share with the public comprehensive public faculty profiles that will facilitate recruitment to CSU and support the state's employer of choice initiative. Secondly, student visibility into faculty research opportunities is another priority. We know we want to shorten time to degree, and students do need easier ways to discover mentors, research expertise that align with their interests, and experiential learning opportunities. A third reason, provosts are very concerned with elevating institutional reputation and brand awareness. And we know that a unified faculty visibility strategy will strengthen CSU's brand and competitiveness. And then lastly, we've talked a lot about collaboration. Collaboration will contribute to the CSU brand, and we have ways to improve collaboration visibility. So we are going to talk a little bit today about interdisciplinary and cross-campus collaboration, which is made possible through public profiles. So interdisciplinary within the institution, across campuses, within the CSU system, and external to the CSU system, whether it be with the UC system or community colleges or even private institutions in California or outside of California. So we will show about faculty networks, research focuses, and collaborations internally and externally. And worth reminding you all that these profiles are going to be generated without faculty even touching the profile, because again, we're starting with information that we can scrape from the web, as Dr. Tiwari mentioned. We can host within faculty activity reporting, and we can gather all this information in ways that faculty do not have to do any more administrative burden, which we know we're trying to keep them from. Which is a nice segue into what's in it for faculty. Why do faculty care about this? Faculty are very interested in increasing their visibility and showcasing, but they don't want to have to be burdened with more ways to enter information into yet another departmental website or create a new CV or enter data into another spreadsheet. They want to focus on high priority work. And that high priority work, if we remove administrative burden while we're showcasing their accomplishments, they can focus on improving teaching effectiveness or increasing research productivity or contributing to service or outreach programs or advising and mentoring students. And we know that that's what they want to focus on. Also, faculty can find research collaborators, which we've mentioned is very important for brand and for improving, for example, grant proposals. So by improving the ability to collaborate and find research collaborators both on campus or across their discipline or at other campuses studying adjacent topic areas, we can foster interdisciplinary innovation and enhance grant proposals. Another reason, faculty want to get noticed beyond their own administration and peers, and they want to attract additional potential students. They want to attract external funders and industry collaborators. A centralized profiling system will reduce administrative burden, help faculty find collaborators, ensure their work is recognized across disciplines and across institutions. And importantly, the profiles will showcase the full faculty profile, so teaching, service, and public engagement. It will not be limited just to research and publications. All right, at the institutional level, the impact is even broader. With a $144 million reduction in state funding in the 2025-2026 budget cycle, publicizing faculty scholarship and impact will attract external funders and generate industry and community partnerships. System-wide visibility helps elevate CSU's reputation and competitive positioning nationally. Campuses can strengthen their interdisciplinary and cross collaborations, and students can identify mentors and opportunities more effectively, leading to improved student outcomes. And again, shorten time to degree, which is what we're very much interested in. All right, so Interfolio has been doing this for the past several years and has successfully supported faculty profiles at many individual institutions, but also at public university systems like CSU. And I'm sharing a couple of examples here. On the right-hand side, we see Arizona, and the Arizona Board of Regents hosts a system-wide profile for the University of Arizona, Arizona State University, and Northern Arizona University. So at the top level, it's a system-wide profiling system, but additionally, each campus has a unique profile for its own campus that rolls up into the system site. And so that's what we see on the right-hand side, the University of Arizona system. Additionally, we've worked with the SUNY system, and it's very similar in size and scope to the CSU system. I'm sure you're aware that in the system of University of New York. So they're organized in a similar way where you can search across the system and access profiles at the system level, or individually at the institutional level. And we're going to take just a couple of moments to show you a profile within the SUNY system and look specifically at a scholar's profile to understand kind of the type and flavor of information and the collaborations and network that we can display. Now, Fullerton started development on a public profiling system before Interfolio brought to market an off-the-shelf profiling system, which we're going to be showing you. The Elsevier version will allow all of the system to have the same professional standardized profile, and each school will have a place in the hierarchy at the system level, but there will be a system-wide community to foster collaboration and provide statewide showcasing. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Gabe, and he's going to log into a live SUNY environment for you.
Thank you, Tiffany. So I did just put in a request to share my screen here. Might just take a second. Oh. Right now it looks like I'm just controlling the different slides. Oh, here we go. All right, perfect. So you should be seeing my screen here now. So right now we're just going to take a look at just one of our real examples for the faculty profiling and showcasing system. So we're going to be looking at SUNY here, which essentially connected the entire SUNY system, so all of the different campuses, institutions, and bringing all of their research into one singular place where we are able to map the different collaborations, see their different expertises, but then how it's all kind of surrounding a single strategic plan here. So currently on our homepage here, and there's always a lot of options here for customization and how we can personalize these. We can have our search here, and we can search by different concepts or matching texts. We can see all of the different schools feeding up to that greater system. And if we wanted to, we can actually go into our research units to see the scholarly output broken down between the different colleges. Below, we're going to have a collaboration map, which is going to show us all of the different output coming from the SUNY system, but how it connects with researchers around the world. And then we can also see these on an individual basis when we take a look at a profile here in just a second. Now, I wanted to highlight this part here because the SUNY system is also using these profiles as part of their digital transformation project. And through the connections that they have built, connecting all 64 campuses, we can see how their research is impacting the 4 different strategic pillars that we see here below. And if you were to click into them, you can actually see the scholarly work that's contributing to each one of these initiatives. So breaking it down just into the individual researchers, and then of course, all of their output. Now let's take a look at a real profile that we have here for ANISA. And so Tiffany was mentioning that there really isn't a lot of work or any work that is involved in bringing a lot of this data in because it's all going to be feeding in from Scopus if they have their Scopus IDs. And we can pull in our H-index scores to be displayed here, our citation counts too. In her case, we can see her research activity broken down by year. We can bring in her profile information. So if we wanted to include profile information, contact info, that can all be set and configured. We can have that biography here. And then I'm actually going to go into our fingerprint and our network, which are created through those Scopus connections. And here's where we're going to be able to see all of her different weighted expertises. So we can see where her work is most contributing to. In her case, we can see that neuroscience here and then all of these subcategories below. We can go into the network, which is personally my favorite feature because it's going to give us these great visualizations of how ANISA is collaborating with others. And these aren't just linked to the institution or even just the SUNY system, but for the entire world. And if we come here and we edit our different parameters here, make this a little bit more organized, so we can see what she's done over the last 2 years, and we can click and drag on her name, and we can see how each one of these individual users has worked with ANISA over the time frame that we've set in the parameters. We can also view this in a circular form, and if I click and drag my cursor over their different names, we can see that same visual, just in a different way. Coming into her research output, we'll be able to see all of her output, But with these, again, this is pulling in from Scopus, we can see the citation counts for each individual work. So we have Scopus citation there. We pull in data from Plumex as well. We can see how many readers, if it's been mentioned in a news article. We can also pull in data or metadata from social media. So if we wanted to see from X, Facebook, different podcasts, there's a lot of different ways that we can configure and bring in data to just supplement the different research that they are contributing to. All right. So that pretty much concludes what I was going to cover here. I will save time for questions at the end if you wanted to dive in a little bit more into it. But Tiffany, I will pass this back on to you then.
Thank you, Gabe. Are we able to switch back to, I have one slide left in my PowerPoint. Are we able to get back there? There we go. The final slide that I had, slide 7, really, I just wanted to sum it up and say that the opportunity here is for CSU to create a unified, modern way to showcase the extraordinary expertise that already exists in the CSU system. It supports faculty success. It improves student and public engagement, and it positions CSU more competitively for innovation, collaboration, recruitment, and funding. Ultimately, faculty web profiles are not just about visibility, they're about making CSU's impact easier to discover, measure, and amplify. So with that, I think, and yep, there's my contact information. If those of you who are attending this webinar don't have it yet, but that's how you can reach me, and we're certainly happy to have deeper conversations with each campus about how we can support you in this initiative. But we can open it up to discussion and Q&A to that component of the webinar now, and happy to take questions.
All right. And thank you, Tiffany, for that excellent presentation. I'd like all the panelists to come back on camera for the Q&A session, please. Okay, so we're ready for some questions from the audience. I'll get this started with a question to the users at the campuses. So what were some of your main challenges? For example, was it the launch effort and the process change time? I think Somone mentioned is the faculty buy-in is a very essential element of this. So what were some challenges? Anyone can answer. So yeah, Binod.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge we had was the gathering the data for the faculty. It took a long time, but then it was worth it. So it took a long time to gather the data and then auto-populate them in the platform. But it is worth it. And now that part is done, so we are in good shape. The second challenge was as I and Kathleen mentioned, and all of us mentioned, reducing the burden from faculty, and then doing as much as possible for the faculty. That way, faculty don't need to spend more time, and that communicating that to the faculty was not easy, because sometimes the faculty will say that, oh, I have to put extra hours to do it again. I have to learn new system again, and that came in, but with a lot of hearing sessions, or and then offering this in summer to faculty, and word of mouth helped us to kind of pass the message that we're trying our best to scrap as much as possible to reduce your time, and then that is working very well. Kathleen, do you want to add anything on that?
Yeah, we went on several, we call them road shows on our campus, where we had several listening sessions with the deans. We went to the provost council, and we presented this to the chairs, and we gathered feedback. And continue to report back. After we got feedback, we would make updates and changes, and then report back on the changes that we made. So we gained their trust and had that continual feedback loop. And even when we did the official launch, and started doing the training sessions, we identified that there were different nuances of the faculty FAR or faculty 360 that needed to be tweaked a little bit for different scenarios and different faculty experiences. And so we were able to take that feedback and continue to make adjustments throughout this entire year, even after we've launched that. And so that continual feedback loop, I think, has really helped on our campus with the faculty buy-in and seeing the utility of the faculty 360.
I would say for our campus, there were two major challenges. The first one was process mapping, because although we have our evaluation policies and we have the CBA to guide how we are configuring the module, the RPT module, we learned that during the implementation process, the various colleges and even the various departments within the colleges had different ways that they were executing the policies and what the CBA guided. So getting everyone in alignment in a way that we could then agree on what the template should look like and what the functionality in the RPT module should be for each college. Getting everyone on board and on the same page with that to then be able to map that out in the system was a challenge, but we did eventually get there. And then the second major challenge is just getting faculty or the users to admit that they are not as tech savvy as maybe they would like to be. And so initially they will blame the system for not working when in actuality it's needing some more help with learning the technology. So understanding that our users, they are subject matter experts in their subjects, but also understanding that they may not be as tech savvy. And so approaching with grace and patience to get them on board and using the system and not shaming or embarrassing in any way, but just offering as much support as possible is really helpful for the buy-in piece.
Thank you, Simone. All right, I'm going to go to the questions. There is an interesting question about how the SUNY system got things on Interfolio. So did they wait for each of the campuses to adopt this, or was there some type of a system level move to get a license for everybody?
I'll answer that one. And is my microphone working okay?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Yay. For those of you that haven't met me, my name's Anthony, and because I work and kind of supervise all of our relationships across North America, I was involved in the SUNY project and have actually been involved with some of the SUNY institutions for about 8 years now. The SUNY journey with Interfolio and our parent company Elsevier is very similar to the same journey that the University of Arizona system, our Arizona Board of Regents system, followed. In both cases, individual campuses started working with Interfolio. SUNY Stony Brook, which is the flagship, was the first of the SUNY campuses to work directly with Interfolio, just like the University of Arizona, the flagship in Arizona was the first of the Arizona schools. Over time, more and more schools in both systems started using Interfolio. Kind of almost in parallel, but in a similar way, the Arizona Board of Regents had initiative to work system-wide to foster research collaborations and business partnerships in Arizona. And the SUNY system, State University of New York system, had a goal to showcase all of the research across the entire campus, across the entire system. So they partnered directly with our parent company Elsevier for the system level relationship. That can honestly be done by working directly with Tiffany and I, because Interfolio and Elsevier are the same company now. Currently, I think 6 of the SUNY campuses are doing review, promotion, tenure, and other processes, just like the CSU schools are. And I think 9 of the SUNY campuses have gone live with their profiling. Those couple of campuses that are using the profiling, but not the Interfolio for review, promotion, and tenure, are actually just presenting information that's an Elsevier Scopus tool for their research. So they don't have the ability to also showcase the teaching and service activities that the faculty are doing. They have a smaller profile coming in from SUNY Buffalo and SUNY Geneseo. The Arizona Board of Regents is currently in the process of discussing how they are going to bring the teaching and service data that is in Interfolio as well as the research data up to the system level, because they want to use it as a tool to just like SUNY, not only to foster research collaboration, but also to attract students and use it so that students can learn more about their professors.
Yeah, thank you, Anthony. Before we go to Art, I want to say that we do have a very distinguished member on our panel today. So Dr. Art Ellis, he is a consultant to Elsevier, but also in his previous job, he was head of research of the whole UC system, the vice president for research at UCOP. So go ahead, Art.
Oh, thank you, Ganesh. Great to meet all of you. And just to supplement what Anthony was saying, in the SUNY case, also a lot of pressure from state government. The governor in particular was really keen to see the SUNY system elevate its stature, be more visible, provide a greater return on investment. And I suspect in California now you're hearing some of that from state government as well. And maybe Ganesh, you'd want to amplify a little bit about that.
Yeah, certainly, we are, we have a strategic plan and we have advocacy every year. And one of the key things is that the governor's office and others are very interested in making sure that our students are workforce ready. We have the faculty excellence to provide mentored experiences, for our students. And so the faculty visibility piece, supporting faculty so that they adequately support students, all of that, is extremely important. And we made some big advances in the AI area where we have system-wide licenses and so forth. So I think there's a lot happening. So thank you, Art. Okay, so go to another question. I don't wish to get into questions regarding the exact costs here. I would leave that for Elsevier to communicate with campuses. But the CO is the other part of the question is the CO considering supporting this initiative, the Faculty 360 system-wide? Yeah, so we're interested in exploring this. In other cases, we have had system-wide memberships where a system-wide contract was negotiated, and the campuses actually, backfilled the chancellor's office, after that for their piece. So we've done some of that. We've had some cases where there's a little bit of cost share from the chancellor's office. So the response is that yes, we are exploring. One other question I have in the Q&A. It says, thank you for this information. Are campuses gathering data and reporting on all faculty, tenure line, and lecturers? And are there separate trainings for tenure line and lecturers?
Is that question related to the other systems, or is this question being posed to the other?
This is our system.
Okay.
Yeah. Any of the campuses?
Yeah, Ganesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Fullerton, we, that was the reason it took way longer for us to implement the system, because we are doing this for all tenure track and non-tenure track faculty. And we have over 2,400 total faculty population. And even for the training, all the reality is the data base we have is more tenure track and tenured faculty who have been actively using it. But we are doing all training and all implementation, everything irrespective of their status. So faculty as both tenure track and non-tenure tenure track faculty.
All right, any other campus response? Okay, let me go to the next question. That is, will the Interfolio faculty profiles be available from other universities? I'd also be interested in looking for collaborations outside the CSU.
So the profiles that we showed today from SUNY, and again, we have them in Arizona. The University of Montana system uses this. Boise State, a number of universities use this. These are publicly available, and you can discover them now, not only in the United States but globally. There's about 300 universities globally that are using the technology that Gabe showed today, and so they're already discoverable. The nice thing is that when the CSU system hopefully joins the tool, then each individual faculty member at CSU will also, their profile will show the links to their collaborators within the CSU system, within the state of California, within the United States, and within the globe. So then you'll be able to select, do I want to see only the CSU partnerships, or do I want to show the collaborations on a larger scale?
Thank you, Anthony.
And Ganesh, our profile is also openly available. So I mean, anyone can go to our index profile page. I mean, again, I'm adding it that, as Tiffany mentioned, we started doing this after seeing Arizona's profile. So we started doing it early enough before Interfolio had that. Otherwise we would have waited a little bit to take advantage of better platform that Interfolio has. But our is also open to anyone to look into.
Okay, so in other words, the campus has the option of making it open publicly. Okay, other questions, other discussion from the panel or from the audience? Barbara?
I'm just wondering about different modules of Interfolio. I think many of our campuses have a very basic module or platform, the baseline platform, and then how many modules might a campus need to add to do what SUNY is doing? That was really impressive with all the collaborations around the world.
So most of the CSU systems are using the module that is, we call it review, promotion, and tenure. I believe in the CSU system is called review, tenure, and promotion. I think you guys switched the letters on us, but that's okay. Once upon a time, many of your campuses were also using an Interfolio module called faculty search. Some of you may remember that as well, but at one point, a number of your universities were using our module called faculty search, which for hiring and search committee work. I understand that the CSU system is now using a system-wide hiring tool, which is certainly a good prerogative. So the showcasing tool that we showed with SUNY can be accomplished in one of two ways. If it's at a system level purchase, then that could be the only module that we need for research management. If you wanted to go the full displaying of also the teaching and service work on the web, then there's the module that Fullerton is using, the Interfolio Faculty Activity Reporting, or in the case of Fullerton, Faculty 360. You can name it whatever you want to on your campus. Would be required to gather the teaching and research to send it to the web page. So there's really two different paths that the system or an individual campus can follow for the showcasing piece. It really depends on what you want to do with the data that's specific to each individual campus. The nice path that Fullerton has taken is that by collecting their faculty data in teaching, research, service, and extension, if you offer that on campus, the nice thing about once that system is available for the campus, it can then also be used for other institutional purposes like accreditation reporting for WASC, for AACSB, or it can even be use that data to automatically pre-populate their review tenure and promotion cases, whether it's an annual review or a formal tenure case. Once the data is in the database, we can actually pre-populate those cases that your faculty members are already used to managing through Interfolio.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Anthony. So, Tiffany, my understanding is 19 of our campuses have Interfolio, and based on their size, they're classified as large, medium, or small, right? And so we have the ability to do many of the things that we saw today at many of the campuses, and some of them are already being done. Will the campuses be able to build the Faculty 360 based on what they have?
So today, the 19 out of 22 campuses have review, promotion, and tenure. And a handful of campuses have faculty activity reporting, which is what Dr. Tiwari showed. So, in order to build faculty activity reporting out, the campuses who don't have it today would need to adopt that module. And then, additionally, if you want to publicly display profiles, that's a faculty profiling module that we would talk about. So that's the growth opportunity at this point for the majority of the institutions within the CSU system is really around faculty activity reporting for what Anthony just described, for the purposes of both internal and external reporting and understanding what teaching and service beyond just publications are, and then being able to publicly display it to the rest of the world for the purposes of collaboration and garnering external funding.
Okay. Thank you, Tiffany. I see another question in the chat, and it says, how does the faculty activity report / faculty 180 module integrate with the RPT module?
I can answer that one. So within faculty activity reporting, we can define the format of a CV. So I want my teaching, my research, my service, all of my grants. We can choose the fonts, the spacing, and the coloring within faculty activity reporting. And then it integrates into review, promotion, and tenure by simply just selecting the template of that CV. So say we have a standardized CV for all tenure and promotion cases. From there, we just click a generate button and it'll automatically pull in all of that faculty member's profile and activity data into that CV within that workflow within review, promotion, and tenure.
Okay. Thank you, Gabriel.
Mhm.
Any other questions? We don't have any questions in the chat, in the Q&A, and we're down to about 2 minutes. So I thought this was a very informational webcast with a lot of interaction, lots of possibilities on the horizon that are very exciting. Essentially looking at the future, connectivity of faculty, visibility for the institution, building collaborations, serving our students, all of those things. Anyone have any closing remarks from the panel?
I'd like to say thank you. This conversation has been kind of going on behind the scenes with some of your campuses and some other contacts I've had at the system office for a lot. As I'm sure everyone can imagine, it takes sometimes months to actually get to the point of a meeting in higher education. I personally am an educator by training. My entire life has been spent in this, and the opportunity to be a partner with CSU and to showcase and celebrate all the amazing work you're doing. We all know that this is a hard time in higher education. There's a lot of external pressures on the campuses and the work you're doing, and budget cuts, and parents, and politics, and all those things. But to be a part of potentially showcasing all of the positive work that's happening on your campuses is what gets Tiffany and Gabriel up in the morning, and what draws us to conversations like this, just to celebrate the amazing work you're already doing. So thank you for letting us join you today.
Yeah, thank you so much for participating. So this webcast was brought to you by the Executive Committee of the Council of Chief Research Officers and the Chancellor's Office. And I thank all of the campuses for participating. I thank our special guests and strategic partner, Elsevier, for partnering with us on this initiative. All participants will receive a survey. Please respond to that, and then following the survey, we will discuss next steps. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. It's 11:30.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye. Bye-bye.